And welcome back to Scav Talk, everyone. Today's episode, we got lots to discuss. It's been a little bit of time, more time in between than usual, but we're back here recording on our roughly normal schedule. Maybe things will stay normal for a bit, we'll see. But lots of Tarkov news to discuss. Patch came out as well. The big news that we'll get to a little bit later, 1.0 announcement. We have a date. It's set. Very excited to talk about that. Hardcore Wipe, is it coming to its conclusion? Are we nearing the end? Got Nikita leaks, a BSG leaks, and then Deadlock, game that I've been playing, has received a major update. I'm super excited. I can't wait to yap your ears off about that.
Excellent. So yeah, we've got lots to talk about today. Given the slight gap, I think we recorded last time, like last Tuesday or something, because I was going to the LAN party that I go to.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Unfortunately, BSG stayed out of my way this year, so it was great. We went Thursday through Sunday. It was amazing. We just played games and drank beers and just chilled out with the friends. And this time I took a copious amounts of cushions and seat, because like last time, like the desk was too high and the chair was too low, and I just didn't really think about it. I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. And then we played like micro intensive games. Like we always end up playing like Dota 2, Age of Empires 2, like those kind of games. Always end up playing them no matter what. And then after like day 3, with my hand in the wrong place, I was like, oh my god, it hurts so much. And it was genuinely like 4 months before it got back to normal. I had like nerve pain all the way up my forearm, like into my elbow.
Oh my god, serious
it was horrible
stuff.
So serious gaming issues. And so it was like, it actually hurt to play Tarkov a bit, and I was like, man, this is actually problematic. And so this time I was like, I'm going with all the cushions. I brought like the back seat cushion thing that I've got. I brought like a normal cushion. I had like a blanket as well, so I could like prop myself to the perfect height. So this time we had none of this shenanigans. And it also made actually playing the games easier too. So yeah, we ended up playing. So this one was about 150 people. We used to go to this old LAN, like back when we were kind of teenagers and like early 20s. We played this. We played at this one called the I Series. There's basically two in the UK. There's 2 big LANs. There's one called the I Series. I think it sort of fell into administration, like went bust, and then like it's come back and stuff. It's a bit strange. But back then there were 2. There was the I Series, and then there was the Epic LANs. And the I Series was bigger. And when we first started going, I think there were like 1,500, and they grew to like 2,000, 2,500 people. Like it was a big event, right? And it's all mostly BYOC, bring your own computer. So you bring all your gear, and everyone sets up, right? They've got like massive networking. Massive networking to get everybody all online at the same time. But we stopped going to those like probably around sort of when we all went off to like university, and definitely with working, and then this series popped up from the Epic LAN wing called the Epic Lux LAN. And it was basically like geriatric, like mid-30s gamers who can't be bothered anymore to go and camp in a field, as you know, with like in the freezing winter or whatever, because some of them, it depended on the timing, but some of them were quite cold. And in the these ones, there's like 150 people, so it's a bit smaller, but still decent number. And they're basically in these like business hotels off of like a roundabout. So the place is like really cheap. So this time it was like a Hilton. It was like a conference center, business Hilton. And they booked like 150 rooms. And so you just like pay for rooms. So it really wasn't like for what it is.
You're like
really
staying at a hotel effectively.
Exactly, and the LAN is in the conference center, so it's like air conditioned. Your room is just down the hallway. You get like cooked breakfast in the morning. Like you had this like proper shower in your room. Like it was sweet. So like we've been to that a couple of years in a row. This was the 4th one, and it's great. Really, we had like 9 of us that went. We had one person who kind of logged in, on the actual internet to join in with our stuff because they couldn't come because they're having a baby soon, and it was just a great time. You basically just book for like 4 days off life and go and hang out and whatever. It's like our annual event, really. It's our like annual meetup. So it was really cool. Yeah, we just played like all the old games. As I say, Dota 2, Age of Empires 2, we always end up playing some CS2 as well, even though none of us are any good at it. The Battlefield 2 beta, Battlefield 2, God, slip of the tongue. Battlefield 6 beta came out literally that weekend. So it was also Thursday to like Monday. So it was perfect timing. So everyone could play it for free. We ended up playing Peak, which some people have probably seen. It's like a new climbing game that's kind of like, so we all played that. And it's supposed to be 4-player, but one of my friends quickly found a mod to just uncap it. So we had like 10 people playing Peak together, which had its own problems, but it was fun nonetheless. So yeah, it was just such a good time. Oh, and the Dawn of War Definitive Edition came out over the weekend too. And a couple of us old timers who used to play like back in the day, we bought that. And it was, because if you had the game already, it was like cheaper, if you had the original one. And so we like
Oh,
played a few
cool.
games of that. I was like, reminiscing about my old like, RTS. It was like my first competitive RTS. So like reminiscing about those days. I was like I used to play Eldar, and I used to play like 1v1s online, like on the rank ladder. And I was just like going like, how does the tech, I can't even remember the tech tree. It's like literally 20 years since I played this game. And I'm like, I remember this ability was really important. This one build, like it was all coming back. I was like, but I don't even remember what the ability does. I remember that it's like useful. I know that I need it, but I can't remember why. It's like so much fun to get back and play these old games. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
it was awesome. It was really cool. That's cool. And it's good that we didn't have the wipe over it, because that's basically what happened the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Which was a real pain. It was a real bummer. But yeah, so with that done, get back to the old Tarkov stuff. So yeah, it's been like nearly 2 weeks. So a lot of stuff has happened. Most of that in the last 2 or 3 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
But I think last time we spoke, we didn't even have level 4 traders at that point. So obviously, since then, all the others got released, including Ref. So we had like level 4 mechanic, peacekeeper, and Ref. This was back on the 12th. So 10 days ago or something, and they unwound some of the purchase prices, some of the sale prices, reducing the trader restock time. So a lot of the end game hardcore stuff got relaxed, and then there was a survey as well about the hardcore wipe, where they actually released the information about what people thought about it. And I think, like, as a precursor to just like looking at the data, the issue always with these things is it's like, well, who's answering the survey? I wouldn't even pose the question, how is the survey biased? Every survey is biased in one way or another, just by virtue of like the people, like what the format is of people answering the questions. And did someone who quit the wipe 3 days in, did they even see the survey, and did they get to answer, etc., etc.? So you have to kind of take that in mind when we look through the answers. But anyway, I mean, the first one, I think they kind of messed up the order of the questions, I think, or something, or like the numbering, because it starts with number 2, but I think it was actually question number 1. They did something a bit strange here. But how would you rate the concept of the hardcore wipe? I like it overall, but it has nuances, was like 39%. I love it was 17. So overall, people that like it and people who like it but was, on this survey at least, was 56%. I don't like it was 29%. It's quite a lot of people, and haven't formed opinion was like 15. So of the people who answered the survey, probably people who are still playing, most of them liked it, but not as many as you might expect for people who are answering the survey. But yeah, there's still a big proportion of people, like 30% of people who answered, like, we even had the opportunity to answer it, like knew that it was happening, etc., who didn't really like it very much, which is not usually surprising given the response that BSG's had to this particular wipe. Which hardcore wipe changes did you like the most? The first page is all the like low percent ones. These are actually both parts of the same question. So I'm not even going to go through the first ones, because it's basically like reduced to they're all like under 5%. It's like 4%, 3% for like rare loot and
weird
restrictions locations. Yeah, whereas the second section is like much higher. And the change people like the most was hideout doesn't need fan invade items.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest problems again with a survey like this, right, is that if you state the question in this particular way, which hardcore wipe changes do you like the most?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably, as a player, just going to pick the stuff that made your life easier.
Yeah. Well,
and
I mean,
a lot of people
but
do
you
that
would assume
anyway.
with a hardcore wipe, there wouldn't. That would be the antithesis of a hardcore wipe, in a sense.
Yeah. So it's like, well, people like the things that made their life easier, sure, but that doesn't necessarily. Like, I feel like the way that you would need to really ask the question is like, which of these changes do you think were best for the game, or which
I see what you're saying.
which of these elements do you think were
added to the hardcore wipe experience?
Exactly that kind of thing. Whereas if you're just like, oh, which of these did you like, oh, I enjoyed getting kicked in the balls by the game, like no one's going to click that button, right? Even if it was good for the experience of the hardcore wipe, like no one's going to say, oh yeah, I enjoyed having to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
like,
2.8%
I enjoyed having no rare loot. That was great.
Yeah, exactly. That was my favorite. Well, that's funny you say that, because the numbers reflect that the lowest percentage, 2.8, that was the lowest one of the bunch, I think. Yeah, and that was increased hideout requirements, which like makes sense because you're like doubling 2xing the grind.
Mm-hmm. And so people liked, in order, the top 5, I guess. Like hideout doesn't need fan-made items, 100% boss spawn chance, increased experience for surviving raids, The disabled fleet was 12%, so actually kind of okay, and increased AI difficulty of 11%, which because it doesn't really seem like the AI increased in difficulty at all. So that one's sort of a bit strange anyway, because the AI is like not necessarily any harder; it just is more aggressive, but can't really hit you. So overall a bit of an odd one.
That's super.
They're all quite low though.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's literally like what, at least like 12 different options to choose from.
It was multiple choice, if I remember.
Oh, was it? Okay, so you could hit
So you could
multiple
pick.
boxes.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you could hit multiple boxes, but yeah, it's just it's always with these PSG stuff. It's just like such
Yeah,
strangely worded questions.
It's perhaps not the most scientific, survey conducted ever in the history of video game surveys.
You could say that. You could say that.
But I will say, I am quite surprised by which I think is a good sign, like in general, the disabled flea market is like so high up on the list. Like it's in the top 5, I guess. Number 4.
Yeah.
Which is honestly kind of surprising. Like genuinely, I did not expect that to be where it's placed in the stack.
I feel like a lot of people. I've read quite a few comments on various social platforms,
and
I think there is quite a few people who didn't really like the idea of it going away, but then when no one had it, realized actually this kind of makes the game like play better in many ways, or it makes the raids more exciting because you're looking for this one clutch item or something. It's funny how the double hideout things almost made that go away a bit. 'Cause it's just like you find an item and you're like, well, I'm not excited because I need 8 more, sort of thing. Like,
true.
You're incrementally further away from your goals, but for quests, I think that's definitely true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, question 4: what do you like, or how do you like the gradual content unlock? Locations, tasks, traders. I like it overall, but it has nuance. Was 32. I don't like it. 25. I love it. 24. Neutral. I haven't formed an opinion. Again, the problem with this, right? It's just like, how do you like the gradual content unlock? Brackets, locations, comma, tasks, comma, traders. Is like, well, I didn't like the locations. I did like the traders, but I also didn't like the tasks being
sorry, where we at?
None and being blocked. This is question 4.
Same question. It's just I see what you're saying. You're reading the paragraph.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this one, it's like, well, how do you answer? Right? It's just like, well, I didn't like the location access, but I did like the trader one. I like there being tasks. So it's like it depends what you're talking about. And if you're talking about all 3, then like I can't tell you really.
Well, if you're talking about all 3,
kind of even on all of them.
I'm gonna click on the one that says nuances because that's the buzzword that probably best resembles. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, it's not. I can't really give you a good comprehensive answer, so I'm gonna click the one that says, but it has nuance.
It gives the cop out, and then also conversely gives VSG absolutely no information about about what people actually like.
Yes.
Like just...
people like it, but it has nuances. This is very insightful.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. So question 6. Do you think playing with the flea market disabled is more interesting? Yes or no?
This one's pretty.
Yes said 50%, and no said 37%. And cannot answer said 13. So I feel like that's pretty cut and dried. Again, from the experience of the players who are playing.
Sure.
Because not everybody's jumped back in.
Yeah.
To just answer the survey. So a lot of people will, but not everybody will. And the people who are more loosely connected to the game are less likely to jump in to do the survey. So there's sort of there's a bias in the people.
Absolutely.
Right? It's like, oh, you're continuing to play the game because you like it. Well, means you probably like having no flea. If you really hate having no flea, you're probably not playing the game. You got probably fed up with that quite quickly at level 15 or something, thinking, man, I wish I had this thing. And with the double hideout, whatever, and then you're just like not playing after the first week. So like, are you going to open the game just to say no? Like maybe, but maybe not. And so that's kind of tricky because I think the extra flavor on this one is that Nikita actually put up a post about the flea market on Twitter just to kind of see there as well what the deal was. He put up, yes, I'll do this poll here because I can. I don't know if we've got this anywhere else, but I'll just read it out.
Okay.
Flea market, yes or no? Same there, right? And that had 345,000 views. I always find this very strange. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Twitter's an odd platform.
I know where you're going.
345,000 views, but only 47,000 people voted on it.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was showing people gaming adjacent. I don't know. And they thought, well, I don't play Tarkov, so whatever. maybe, but like 6 times the number or 7 times the number, maybe. But anyway, so 50,000 people voted, 60% voted flea market yes, 30% voted flea market no. So the people who are likely to see it on Twitter are are just as likely to be not as associated, right? It's lower.
Hmm.
It's a lower ask to be in the Tarkov sphere or FPS survival sphere broadly, see the poll and press button, than it is to be like opening the game launcher. Like you could be
Yeah.
reading that
Yeah.
tweet and answering the question while you're on your way to work or whatever. Whereas like to actually answer the question survey in game, you have to be at your PC, you have to open the game up specifically through the launcher, open it up. The game takes 15 years to open,
Right.
and then you have to go through the survey thing and collect your 5 bolts or whatever it is, and you might not even care about that. Yeah, so someone in Ricewind in chat said, I opened the game up to reply to the survey. Me and 2/3 of 2/3 friends, the rest didn't care. So that's the thing. It's like, it's interesting how the hardcore player base is just like, now we don't like the flea, who are still playing mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people who are sort of disassociated with Tarkov but are broadly, touched by it in their circles are overwhelmingly yes for flea.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I think there's definitely perception, and it's hard you can argue this both ways, the perception that the flea helps casuals, the flea doesn't help casuals. It kind of depends what type of player you are and how experienced you are, and whether you like dabble, and whether you're just like I don't like to quest and I just want to play the game type of player. There's lots of different types of player in EFT, some of which do benefit from the flea, some of which don't benefit from the flea. Even within the different strata of like skill level, it's not as clear cut as well. Casuals do benefit, and but casuals don't benefit. It allows casuals to keep up. I feel that, I think like my eventual take on it, and I did go through this in like the flea video that I did. My eventual take on the flea is that I think it probably should be added back to the game at some point, but it's sort of like a 1 month in, 2 months in kind of thing, like we had last wipe. That actually feels fine because it's quite good as a catch-up mechanic, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And you join 3 months in, oh well, you can get to level 15 and like buy your way through some of the stuff and get a bit of a speed up on progress, and also buy at least some good things because everyone else is on like class 5 at that point. So you're like, well, I can at least buy MA5, 6A1 or whatever. I feel like that's kind of okay, broadly. Like once you've gone through half the survivally stuff anyway, it's like, well, you had that experience and now we open the game up a bit, make it a bit easier. We'll talk about it a bit later, but what they've done right now is kind of interesting with the way that the flea is right now. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
I did want to just comment quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's the numbers. For me, like if I'm Nikita and I'm seeing this data, albeit, well, yeah, I mean it's fairly, you gotta with the right lens, in the right context. But for me, like 50% of the people playing right now say, with it disabled, it's like adding to the experience, like that, and then plus the Twitter survey, which was like 60. Like for me, that's not like enough to really move the needle. Like if it was like 80% were like, especially with the in-game survey, like if that was like, closer to 80, then I would be like, guys, hello, we need to look at this. Like this is, this is clearly, there's something here. But for where it is now, like, yeah, I don't think it's enough to really move the needle in any direction towards like completely ripping it from the game. And as you said, I too am agreeing. It's like, I think that 1 month, 2 months, something in there is probably not really a magic number. I don't know, maybe there is, but to me that feels the best, because then the hardcore gamers can just like, we can just like grind it out for that first month, because a lot of people that are into that experience of like grinding the wipe early on really enjoy the early wipe. And so like it makes sense, like you don't, and when you have the flea market there, it's just like you just accelerate exponentially, right? With all the other people that you're accelerating with. So if you cut it back, like, yeah, it's gonna suck for new people coming in, early in the wipe. They're excited about the game and the wipe and whatever. But I think there's a balance there with the time gate, and it's like, yeah, it's not the most like sophisticated solution, but I think it works. I guess it gets you 90% of the way there for a more balanced Tarkov experience, I think.
Yeah, no, it's certainly interesting. Yeah, I think you're right though, actually, saying that it's not enough people, and a lot of people really are frustrated and just don't find this wipe quite unappealing. And I think
Yeah,
it's
I
one of
totally
those
could see
things where
that.
it's like, well, when it's a sort of halfway house, like kind of people gripe and grumble, but like people play from both sides. But like
Mhm.
you push it too far one way, and all these people just fall out the game and just like don't want to play at all.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
it's sort of
totally.
balanced in the middle, it's like the hardcore people are like, oh, I wish it was a bit harder, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like shooty people are just like, oh, I wish there was more stuff on the flea, but like everyone just kind of gets on with it and plays. But
Mhm.
like this wipe's a little bit instructive, being like, how far can you push the envelope? It's like
Yeah, that's a
I
good
think we've
point.
sort of it's like here's the player base on like a line, and then you've
Mhm.
got like where's the game state, and then you've got a band around that, and then if you pull that, the people on the one side just like they're just not in
Yeah.
that band anymore. It's just like, now this is too
You can't be bothered, right?
hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I mean, there's so many issues with the hardcore thing in the first place, like just
Sure, sure.
the way it functioned. But yeah, those people can't be bothered. I was just reminded by parents in chat saying like, just want to see the question one answers, and I couldn't remember what it was. They just said, oh yeah, which game mode do you play? I'd forgotten that was question number one. Obviously they haven't
Oh.
released the answers to that, right? Like even on a percentage basis, which is sort of
Oh.
telling.
What? That's so interesting.
That's like kind of like you can infer something from that.
Yeah.
If it let's put it this way, if it was 70% PvP and 30% PvE, they probably would just release that information, I would think.
Yeah. That's so weird that they omitted it.
The more it tilts the other way, if it's like 80% PvE and 20% PvP, I don't think they put the slide in. So like there's sort of
That's so interesting. Because I just assumed, honestly, when I pulled up this site with all the answers for the surveys, I just assumed it was out of order. Like it was a PSG mistake, whoever assembled it. But that's so interesting,
I
it's
thought
not
so
even
as well. I
here.
forgot. Mm. Hey, I thought I'd saved the questions down. I always do save the questions. Maybe I called them something stupid. What was it? Survey, poll. I always save the questions for these things, but maybe I didn't with this one. I normally do, but anyway, we'll just get whip through the rest of these. We can carry on with the rest of the stuff because there's lots more,
Yeah.
lots more than this. How do you like the gradual decrease of the boss spawn rate? Like most people were neutral, actually. Most people just didn't really care. I mean, it is just a bit like, well, whatever. 90% of people hated it. 90% of people didn't like it because the economy was broken because of it. 12% of people loved it, and 12% of people liked it, so it's easy to complete raid objectives. I don't think people really care for the boss spawn rate going up or down or whatever. It doesn't really matter. People just want the bosses to be there, I think, for the most part. 50% seems fine. I think they should just freaking leave it there, honestly. Let's keep it 50%. Do something with the gear, and then that probably solves that issue, in my opinion.
Oh, did we skip? Oh, yeah, I see. This question 5 was also skipped. What was that one? Oh, you probably don't
I
remember.
I don't
Because
know.
you don't
I'm
have the
not sure
evidence. Yeah.
because I don't
It's
have
so
the
funny. You're like,
receipts.
yeah, you're like like a, I don't know, crime scene investigator. Like, you're going to take photographs of what happened before PSG goes in and tampers with the evidence.
I know you need to. You need to. But yeah, I don't have it. I don't know what I've done with it. It's
That's
annoying.
funny. That's okay.
I thought I'd saved it, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. So someone in chat might have it.
We'll circle
I'll
back
mention
around
it if
if so.
someone remembers what it is. Yeah. Okay, so we did that. We did all that stuff. In-game survey, hardcore things. Okay, fine. So we carry on playing the game. Kind of, the game's as it was, but all the traders are out. Then patch 16.9 appears. So the main point, and there's actually, I did go through this in my video. There's no point going through it all here because it is just like torturous manifestations of the linkage between PvP, arena, and PvE. So make sure that nothing comes back from PvE, but that things that happen in PvP and arena synchronize properly with PvE. All right, which is going to be ironic and kind of funny in 3 seconds when we look at what issues happened after this patch. But PvE mode synchronization with arena, the long and the short of it is that ref is in arena. Ref and arena are now in PvE. You can complete the quests in PvE. The quirk being that nothing can go from PvE into arena, but it can go the other way, which means that you can end up with like different standing. This is where the quirk appears basically. The different, you can have different standing in one versus the other because dailies from arena, the rep from ref, so you get 0.01 for ref every time you complete a daily. That obviously goes to PvP and PvE. Like
Okay.
it flows from arena to both games.
Right.
And if you complete a main game quest line in PvE for ref, that doesn't go back to arena. So your ref is different in PvE versus arena, because otherwise that would mean that then the arena rep would then flow to PvP. So you could complete quests in PvE and have that flow to PvP. So that's forbidden.
Yeah.
So PvP and arena are linked together. but the dailies go to PvE, but the main game quest lines don't come back. And the whole philosophy of that, there's basically like 3 paragraphs of them being like, if you do this and you buy this clothing, you buy it in PvE, and then it transfers to this. But if you buy it in PvP, it goes to both PvP and arena. It's just like really torturous logic about, about what happens. But the long and the short of it is PvE is standalone, can't take any stuff from, it can't give any stuff to any of the other game modes, and that's basically it. So I don't need to worry about it too much, but at least it's in the game now. PvP people have been asking for a while. GP coins, you can now spend them in PvE. If you get rewards in Arena, you can choose which game to send them to. Once it's on PvE, it's stuck there, obviously. I mean, you couldn't send a crate back to Arena anyway. I don't know why you would.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I guess you could maybe send it and then send it back, and then you can send it to PvE without opening it, but you don't know what's in it, so whatever, right? So it's pointless. So at least people can now use it in PvE, and they did some nice stuff here as well.
Like
which
battle
was
pass,
things like already earned a battle pass rewards, including trade offers and the clothing, are also unlocked in PvE mode. Right, it's none of this BS that they've done in the past, where it's like, oh yeah, the battle pass stuff you've done that stays on PvP, so you're not going to get it on PvE. Just like spiteful, like no pointless stuff, right? A bit like Prestige, just it's pointless and spiteful, just against the PvE guys. Just give them if you could get a thing, or you get the Twitch box or whatever it is, you pay for something, you do support a streamer and you get some whatever it is, cosmetic or a special case or something. Just give it to both games. Who the frick cares? It's just give it to everyone. So outside of that, so then there's a big bunch of AI stuff that's happened. I couldn't really tell, to be honest, in general, but they said AI detection is better. Readjusted detection through smoke and enemy detection systems, looting patterns, grenade launcher aiming, and things like that. Issues with AI PMCs not controlling territory on factory and PvE. I love this one. Fix situations when AI would drop their NVG to the player. What situation would that occur? That's very, very odd.
It's
it's AI with an NVG. Oh, here you go. Just have these. Very strange. So they did a bunch of that, and the audio stuff. Lots of very specific things. Fix the incorrect volume of certain sounds. Remove the M67 grenade fuse ignite sound, which I think is the click as it gets thrown. Several issues with sound occlusion, noise cancelling, and microphone sensitivity of voice chat, which is quite nice. And fix the issues with short clicks and sound artifacts when using VoIP is great, because we've had VoIP artifacts for ages. It's like the old, feels like the old footstep bug manifesting in VoIP. There's no directionality, but you just get that and you can just hear it constantly. It's really annoying when people are using VoIP. It's across the map.
Was it? Yeah, I was gonna say, was it a tell? There's people VoIPing in our lobby or something?
Yeah, so you could tell that people were VoIPing, which usually meant player scavs were around.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the tell.
That.
It's player scavs disproportionately VoIP compared to PMCs.
Right. Yeah.
So the player scavs have arrived because they're VoIPing each other in game. So there's that, and then a few other bits about quick swapping microphones and adjusting VoIP volume and whatever. The only quality of life, we thought we were going to get more than this, to be honest, but the only quality of life was changing the surgical kit auto use priority to legs rather than the arms. So if you have a black leg and a black arm,
if you just click on the surgery click and click use without actually dragging it anywhere, that's the default. Exactly. Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's good. And then the balancing changes. So they returned access to the flea at level 35 of all levels, with the ability to place one found in raid item at a time. So you have one slot. The item has to be found in raid, and you also have to be level 35. So the majority of people cannot use the flea.
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah, because it's such a high level.
It is quite a high level, especially for this wipe.
Especially for a hardcore wipe, yeah.
Exactly. And I know Airwing did a poll. I'm just going to try and find this without blaring stuff out of here. Where's the poll? Let's have a look. And he did one. Patch 16.9 is back with the flea, just not how anyone expected it. I'm curious as to where the player base stands. So he had, it doesn't actually tell me how many views that he had on this, but I'm assuming a few thousand. And level 1 to 34 was 30%. Well, 33%, 1/3. Level 35 to 70 was 15%. 15% was I play PvE, and 37% said I skip this wipe and I'm happy to finally have a place to vote. So, inferring from this, the bottom two aren't actually a category. So 2/3 of the players who clicked a level button don't have it, and 1/3 of the players do have it from Airwing's community at least. So 2/3 of the players from Airwing's poll can't access the fleet in its iteration.
I mean,
for this balancing.
Why 35 too? That's like seems like a weird. Because is it max trigger load? It's like 42, right? And like, sure, 42
Correct.
is like mechanic, right? It's still mechanic. That's the last milestone. Ragman's 40.
In fact,
oh, I got it backwards.
Ragman's 42.
Okay. So Mechanic's 40, Ragman's 42, which makes sense because the armor stuff. But yeah, that just seems so. Like, I guess they're like, oh, we can't do 15. It's like, well, we can't do 20. And then some guy in his bag is like, 35.
Put it in,
40. No, that's way too high.
Yeah, it's hardcore. It's hardcore mentality. It's still hardcore.
Yeah,
we made it level 35.
It just seems like an odd. I guess where else would you put it? If it were up to you, if you had to give it a level number, where else would you put it?
15.
Yeah, that's honestly because I feel like why even have just the fact that you can only sell one item at a time. That's got to be gimping enough.
The only answer. It's the only reasonable answer. Is 15. Like it's just I just can't. I have no words. I don't know. It's mad.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it is so outside of the player's perspective of being like, from a sort of just a general like a top level overview. It is interesting seeing how one slot. I could almost see it working one slot. Like it's weird because there's a lot less items on the flea. But people are incentivized to make sure the item that they have on the fleet sells.
Yeah, because you only have one slot.
You only have one slot. So the most important thing is actually turnover of your one slot.
Because otherwise you just pay a fee.
Exactly. But it's almost also just time as well. Because like you can still get like 6 items sold in a 5-minute period.
True,
you just have to undercut people quite harshly on items that have got high turnover. So if you have wires and things, you can sell them pretty readily if you want to, and then your slots clear, so you can sell something else. But then it means that like slightly more obscure items that don't get bought very often, there aren't any at all. Yeah. So it's kind of it's weird. It's weird. It's interesting seeing it, and some of the rare items, because obviously it has to be found in raid as well again. So LEDX is still like 2.8 million because people just aren't finding them that often, and when they do find them, in their container, and if they die, then they can't put it up, and obviously people also they'll go down in price because people are using them for Med Station 3 and stuff like this. But clearly, once you get to level 35, you can then buy items off the fleet to put into your hideout, because the hideout is not in raid at the moment, so you can progress your hideout rapidly over anyone else.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So that's nice if you're level 35.
If you're level 35, and so obviously it's expensive, right? It's expensive. Because again, it has to be found in raid. You can't just sell anything. So Nyx or Lens is like 140k.
Oh wow, okay. I guess that makes sense.
And given that money was hard to get, people aren't like hugely rich. So that's actually like it's even more meaningful than you would imagine. Although I guess Arena, a lot of people do have money from Arena. I mean, there is that, and they have reverted the prices now. But there's not like this big build up of cash.
Right.
People have been spending on whatever. Wires are still like 45,000.
Wow.
And again, remember, we've only got 1/3 of the player base who's able to access the fleet, so it's like this higher echelon. Power cords are like 125k each.
That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen these prices.
Yeah, so the price is like higher than ever because the demand is higher than the supply because people like kind of can't even be bothered necessarily to put items up.
Yeah,
because you put up one item and then you go on a raid. So unless you really are like a sort of flea market trader main.
Right.
Most people can't be bothered, right? Most people just want to go add offer, click, and then go and play. AK-12 silencers were $1 million yesterday.
That's crazy. See, that's really cool to me.
Because they're hard to get.
Yeah.
And there's like one barter, which is D-cleaners. They're still like 680k, and they're needed for test drive. So, and it's the PvP test drive as well.
How much are the D-cleaners then?
So the D-cleaners are 200k each.
Okay. So all things are balanced. This should be more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could
do the work. People building off the preset and just going click, buy,
Yeah.
But you can't do the work because you can't do the barter because the barter gives you a non-Phantom Raid AK-12, so you can't put it.
Right, but you could get if that's what you were after, you could get it for a little
You could buy two
cheaper.
D cleaners.
Yeah.
For 400k or whatever.
But I
Yeah,
think I see what you're
it's
saying
interesting.
though. Yeah, I think what you're saying is like, okay, this isn't the most, there's some issues with this system, but it is interesting because this is it's like a social experiment in a sense. Like you have player behaviors, economy, like it's really, and it's super interesting to see the outcomes of this change and what the players are doing. Because I think I hear you in what you're saying is like, hey, this isn't great, but also it's kind of interesting how it's playing out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like some arcane and weird rules. We can watch the hamsters are being fed into a fire pit, but it's interesting seeing how they like negotiate the the maze that Nikita has set up for us. Kind of deal. What hamsters in the maze, right? Except the maze is full of like spike traps and like flamethrower. No, that's what this is. It's a social experiment conducted by Nikita.
And landmines on the rocks.
And landmines on the rocks, yeah, claymores, one shots.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's terrible. So it's an interesting thing. Obviously, keys are up on the flea. Actually, I didn't even look at what 114 is. 114 is only 50k, okay. But yeah, I became fabulously wealthy because I spent some money on a Red Rebel because I just wanted it because I was like, well, so annoying going to reserve without it, and like it's so hard to find the items, and the power cords were like 200k or something. So I was man, this barter's gonna be really expensive. So I just bought a Red Rebel for like 1.5 mil.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because like the main problem you probably have this fight in particular is stash size, like stash space, because you need so many of those propane tanks, and stash space is such a detriment to this fight.
Exactly. So it's kind of problematic. So I like bought that and then bought a few hideout things. And I was like, I'm gonna money here. So I was like offline thinking like, okay, what can I actually do to like fix this? And I was like, oh, I've got 2 mark keys that still Phantom Raid. And I managed to sell one for like 4 mil and the other for 3 mil. I was just like, okay, cool, we set again. This is all good.
That's cool.
I've somehow managed to buy myself down back to like 3.5 mil from like 7 where I was at. So, but that's just like slowly progressing through the hideout. But yeah, so that's an interesting one. So that's the first change. So then reverted the trader prices back to before the hardcore wipe. Scav cooldown is back to before the hardcore wipe. Return the missing trade offers at therapist loyalty level 4. So that basically means stims. So you can buy the Propitol, the Augustin, the Adrenaline. You can barter for the SJ6. I'm not sure if anything else was missing, but those are the main ones. And then return the ability to insure items at Prep 1 therapist. So that's gone back to normal. So the kit's gone from uninsurable at like 300, 400,000 rubles for like a decent kit to like 60k. So as usual BSG, it went from 0 to 11, then it went to like 353 just inexplicably for a bit, and now it's gone back down to 1.
So with the one that you mentioned for therapists with the stems, that makes me, I gotta ask, like, I assume that you still can't put them in your container. Same with ammo. Is that still the same?
You can put in the container. So you can
you
put
could always
any
do
meds
that?
in, but you could always just do stims. So the
that makes
injector
sense.
case,
Yeah,
you could use and put that in there, and that's always been allowed. But it's just none of the other stuff. So no grizzlies, no Salewers, no painkillers of any kind. Which I quite like the fact that people aren't just like junked up 24/7 on like tweaking on 15 out of 15 golden stars, just like permanently on all this stuff. Because you got to take it with you, and if you die, you lose it.
Yeah.
So you don't just have it there every single raid. I quite like it. And like if you do want to be on it, apparently Desmond is just like an Algin candy, in his raids or whatever. But like if you want to do that, then that's fine. You got to buy yourself like 5 packs of an Algin and like 4 bottles of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Which are constantly on these pills, right? If you want to do it, then fine. But like you got to pay the cost. And most ordinary players, they're not going to bother. So it doesn't just become like the de facto default.
Right. Right.
I hate that gameplay, and even I end up forced to do it. Just being like, oh, it's so annoying. But now you still can't put them in the container, so it's still quite a big detriment. I mean, you can put Propitols in there now, so you can avoid it by doing that. You just fill your thing with 9 Propitols in an injector case and every 6 minutes. But if you want to do that, so it's a bit easier now than it was. But I don't know. I'm honestly not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it.
Cool.
So yeah. We'll see. Okay, so anyway, there's a load of fixes. I can't be able to go through these. There's nothing really that important. There's more important stuff to go through. They fixed the compass, though, apparently.
Oh, I didn't even know it was working.
Same here. So they released the thing. Presley did a good list of all the things that got broken. So it turned out 16.9, there were some issues, some minor issues. I would say the biggest one. So let's just go through here. Horrible sound reverb issues back. I didn't actually experience that myself, but I think other people have said that that's not good. And I have seen a few people who were like the silent footsteps and like the audio is really, really bad. Raiders have literally 0 delay and instant kill you. I've heard this about a lot of bosses.
Oh, boy.
Any sort of powerful AI. I also didn't experience this because I played on reserve and I actually killed a couple of raiders and I didn't get instant. But I haven't played against them a lot. But a lot of other people apparently have literally been coming around corners and just getting insta one tapped. And I think it was because they like weren't aggroed on me or something. I think there might be a deeper issue, is my gut feeling. When I was in reserve and in the K building, I was getting shot at by scavs like through the walls. And I feel like there's maybe a detection problem. So the reason why you get one shot is because they already know where you are.
Yeah.
Actual like X-ray, like ESP on the AI, and I'm pretty sure they were like voice lining at me. But they couldn't see me. And I was like, I think it's PMC or something. Like this is crazy. And they're like firing, but I was getting the bullet crack bug and stuff. And I was just like, I don't think there's anyone between me and them. They're not that far away. And there wasn't another player. And then I went around the corner and like, oh, there's Scav. He'd like de-aggroed. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was like just able to tell where I was for some reason. And I feel like that's maybe happening to the more powerful AI, and then they're like locked on as soon as you peek out, like, oh, they kill you, as if you were looking at them already. Something like that. It feels like that to me. I don't really have that much evidence for it. It just feels like that. But anyway, that's kind of annoying. Item duping. I have no idea about the item duping. I've not seen any, but maybe that was just a rumor, but I don't know about item duping. I'm not sure. The next one, this one actually is crazy and is really, really funny. And a lot of people have literally been like, this is the most fun I've had this whole wipe, which is just so much fun. 1,000 times skill point transfer from arena. So this is the classic case of BSG doing some form of synchronization between PvE and arena, like we just talked about before, with ref being added to PvE. And something's not gone quite right. Something hasn't quite worked in this process. So what was happening? It didn't happen for everybody, but what was happening is that you'd go in and play.
Oh, it wasn't happening for everybody.
Not everyone, no. Some people
That's even more bizarre.
Maybe playing at the right time. I don't really know exactly what the thing is.
Okay.
Some people were speculating that maybe it's just EOD and unheard people. Like I don't really know. There's a lot of rumors.
Okay.
It seems to happen to a lot of people. And you played a game of arena, Last Hero or whatever, and you left, and then you went back into the base game, and then you went to your skill. Oh, I wonder what my skills are doing. Oh, I'm elite endurance and and vitality and health. What the hell? Like, very curious. And so quite quickly people realized that the skills in arena were leveling at like a turbo rate, like a rate that is unforeseen in EFT, like insane amounts. I literally played, so I saw that this was happening the day before and kind of forgot about it, honestly. I couldn't be bothered. I was just like, oh, I don't actually care that much about elite skills. Like it's a thing. Like I'm not that fast. So in the morning, I went and played my my dailies with the MP7 because I was just like, oh, they released this cool thing. Actually, we probably should go through the arena bit as well. Actually, we forgot about the arena patch notes, but one of the cool things, maybe we won't bother. But one of the cool things on the arena patch notes was they've added these like weapon tasks, and so for certain weapons, not every gun yet, but for certain weapons, you can complete these like special extra hard tasks, and you can get a unique skin for that gun.
Oh, cool.
Now, the extra cool thing is the first 1,000 people that do it get a number plate with their number on it of that first 1,000 on the skin.
Oh, wow.
So if you were like one of the first people to do it, like you've got this like account tied, like numbered skin for that gun.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat, right? It's like quite like a, oh, maybe I'll get around to it, whenever, to a sort of like, damn, I want to complete this as soon as possible kind of vibe. Which, like, cool. That's kind of neat. So I jumped on to have a look at, see if I could get some progress on that, whatever. And like, 3 games in, I was just like, I wonder actually if the skills book is still here. Looked on my skills, I was just like, oh yeah, I've got elite endurance, vitality, and health as well. There were literally like people in 2 of the last hero raids that I was in, just running around the open area at the back, just sprinting around and just jumping, like walking slowly, like crawling, like hitting each other with melee weapons. Like last hero was just like people just like farming skills. Like it's crazy. People were in there with bolt actions, just reloading over and over again to get level 50 bolt action. Carnage, like complete carnage.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, how the hell has this not been like? This was literally like 10 hours after it was first reported, and I was like, I can't believe. Somebody commented on one of my videos and was like, I can't believe that you didn't do an emergency video about this. And I just commented back to them, was just like, I can't believe it's still in like 10 hours later. Like I thought it was going to be patched within like 15 minutes, like turn it off or something.
Yeah, because
But it just got left open like all night.
by that time, 10 hours, it's like public knowledge, more or less, at this point. Enough people have like spammed reload in the lobby where someone's like, what are you doing there? It's like, oh, I'm loading my skills. There's a bug in the game. It's like, what? I'm not, you know what I mean? So, like, it makes sense
Yeah.
that 10 hours later, everyone in the lobby is just grinding out free XP, essentially.
Exactly. So people who pushed it like super, super hard were playing like chop shop team fight or whatever, like searching each other's stuff, getting max attention, creating a kit with like this overweight to get max strength as well. Getting covert movement max. Like you could reload your all of the bolt actions, submachine gun skill, assault rifles, whichever one you wanted. If you wanted to really push it, you could get like light vests and heavy vests of max. Something also happened to hideout management, and I don't really know how. I've ended up at level 4, so my crafting skill is level 6. Right, to give you some context, I was literally level 6. My hideout management is level 44. I don't know how that's manifested out of the arena bug, but it just has. I didn't even know that anything
That's
could
weird.
transfer from arena for management, so I don't know how that's even appeared, but it just has. So that's pretty funny. So now the conversation is, well, what now? A lot of people coming in being like, oh, have they fixed it? Yes, they fixed it. It's not happening anymore. Which was a couple of hours after it happened to me. I stopped. I couldn't be bothered to cheese it to like max level and everything. I just can't be bothered, right? So I didn't make any special kits or anything. I just did my dailies, got the elite stuff that it gave me, and then just kind of left it. Some people being like, oh, anyone who abused the bug needs to be reset to 0. It's just like you could literally play arena by accident and get to max, right? You didn't even like have to try. It was literally like one raid, you get yourself max endurance, right? If you played last area.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just did it by accident, so you can't really like punish anybody.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then other people being like, oh well, BSG probably just going to roll it back, right? And it's just like, don't you guys remember? Like BSG don't actually have any snapshots of the skill progression or literally anything. BSG have no snapshot of this stuff. They have no snapshot. Like any historic precedence of this thing, people's entire account literally got wiped 1 month before the final wipe, or one of these wipes, sorry. And they were like, we'll just give you level 42 and 100 mil. And like level 30 skills or something. And people were like, what happens if this happens again? And Nikita was just like, it won't. So like they don't have a backup. They have no intention of making a backup. It's just not going to happen. The other precedents where we were talking about this a little bit before the cast, there was that one time where you could like go on factory or shoreline or wherever it was, and like, fall through that particular point on the map. And this was before there was diminishing returns on skills, and it was based on how far you traveled while you were overweight. So you could make yourself overweight and go onto this place, fall through the map, and you'd then fall for like kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. You get faster and faster and faster, and just like never die. And then when you left that raid, I don't know whether you eventually land on something. I don't think you did. I think
you just fell forever.
So you disconnected and you came back through, and like boom, you got elite strength, right? And on that one, they reset everybody 10 or something. But it was like really like heavy-handed. They just reset literally everyone, even if they had like skills higher than that. Like there's no need to have a backup profile. They just don't have a function for it. They have no intention of building it either. So anybody who's thinks that the BSG are going to roll this back are like coping because the mechanism doesn't even exist. So this is going to stay now, right? I'm almost certain this will stay unless they go, oh, we'll put everyone to 30 or maybe. So now that a lot of people are calling for like, well, if like 1/3 of the player base has got max stats on all this random stuff, just give everyone max stats. Like the hard co-op's finished now. Like the hard co-op's ended.
More or
back
less.
To max traders, or more, insurance is back to normal. Like we've got a few things which is like restricted flee and restricted secure container. Outside of that, like the rest of it is gone. So let's just give everyone max skills. Most people have like 90% of players probably have never had anything maxed. It'd be really fun, and it's not that impactful. Does it matter really that people have more stamina and can run a bit faster? Like the people who are bad are still just going to be bad. The reason why it looks so crazy is because you've got like willers and people like that with this, and they know how to abuse it into the nth degree. But if you've got, just your average regular guy who gets wiped, like you give them max elite and strength, whatever, like it's not going to make that much difference to that individual player. Like how much harm can they actually? And we also get to test all of the max skills. Then it'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
I mean, maybe
I think they should do that.
Could you not do the dehydration quest if you have max something health or something?
That has been a problem in the past, actually. That you can't do the thirsty
Yeah.
dehydration. So then, and this is where the issues are, right? Applications around like, oh well, max metabolism, you can't complete the thirst because you can't get thirsty, so you can't activate the quest. Or like, if people say, "Oh, just roll back all the skills," hypothetically, even if there was a system to roll all the skills back, well, what happens if you just completed Shooterborn in Heaven and got your 5 skill points into Boltac? They go, "Oh, we'll just roll you back," but they don't roll back the quests, right? So you've
Oh,
completed
right.
Shooterborn in Heaven now for your +5, but you don't. Now that's gone because you got rolled back to yesterday, but you don't have the quest to complete because you've already done it. So it's like it's
Yeah.
it's more complicated than
Yeah.
there's always
Mm.
these edge cases all over the place because Tarkov's like so tricky. So yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. So now it's just funny, right? And loads of people have been like, this is just hilarious. People cheesing in Last Hero, like people running around with max skills. Like it's just funny, right? Especially coming up off the back of the hardcore wipe. Now it's just really, really funny that
Mm.
people got like max skills randomly because of this bug between it's just like just turn it into like meme wipe now. Go for it. Just give everyone max skills. It'd be really funny. Basically, put like, oh, just keep the arena bug in the game, and I was like, bro, you can't do that because like a load of people don't have arena. Like, come on, it's like
Yeah.
that's like the worst possible case. And he basically just replied to me, and it was just like, we live in a pay to we're pay to win world, good sir, or something like that. I was
Yeah.
just like, you're like actually evil at this point in the past.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I don't know. So now it's
But
the goofy wipe.
But
So
that's not even like we're only like a little bit over half on the list here. Yeah, I see. There's like underbarrel grenade launcher limited spam in PVE. Like, what's that about?
yeah, so UBGL unlimited ammo spam. This one is less impactful because it only is in PvE and it's only when you're playing local. But something of what they did, they pulled one spaghetti over here and then this spaghetti over here is, incinerated for no reason. If you're on local PvE and you have a grenade launcher with a grenade in it, and I think that's fixed already, but you could run around with, it's like Duke Nukem with the cheats on, right? You can have infinite ammo and there's no reload, so you could literally just go like, and it's just grenade launcher.
It's like infinite rate of fire.
Yeah, like just as fast as you can click, you can
That's so
cast grenade as many
good.
times as you like some kind
Oh
of
my
mage.
god, it is the meme
So,
wipe.
so it was only in PvE local, right? So it wasn't on
Yeah,
BSG servers, it wasn't on PvP, it was only in local PvE. So it was like really limited, but it's like, a part of it is just like, well, it's on PvE. Like, who cares in the first place, right? It's
sure,
like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But anyway, it's pretty funny that did bug out in the first place. And then you've got like containers bugging out when opening. That is really annoying. Actually, they've changed. You know when they do these things, right? And it's like something is off. You're
Yeah,
like something is not the way it used to feel, right? And we've been through this a few times with containers, where it's like containers feel a certain way, and then they don't feel that way anymore. And if you've played enough, you just know immediately. Like you go to open a container, and then you turn or crouch or whatever it is, lie down, whatever it is you normally, and then it doesn't open, and you're like, huh, weird. And then it's stuck open, and you're like, oh, now I have to close it and then open it again. And like I don't know what it is yet because sometimes you can move and it's still okay. Sometimes if you're moving while it opens, it won't open. Sometimes if you turn while you're opening it, it won't open. But sometimes if you do turn, it does open. So I haven't found a consistent issue because sometimes it's fine. Sometimes you can move. Sometimes it does work. Sometimes you can lie down. Sometimes you can't lie down. It's like really inconsistent. It's like change something about how you interact, the radius around like how far you can move before it doesn't let you.
yeah. There's like I know what
Something's
you're
different,
saying. Yeah,
and it's annoying. To be honest with you, it's annoying because
I can imagine.
it's also like when it fails, it stays open. So you have to like
Go and close
force the
it.
lid down,
Yeah.
and then wait for that, and then open it again. It's like so annoying. It's just like it's like it doesn't even really matter. But when you're so like yeah, talking about like muscle memory and stuff like that's quite funny because they fixed insurance, and I was just like, now I'm having to untrain myself to
Yeah.
not insure. Like at the start of the wipe, everyone's just like, no, don't insure, don't insure. It's going to take my whole
Right.
money stack. Now they fixed it. Now it's just like, I now have to remember to insure because I'm so used to just like not insuring and just clicking go, 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 go. It's actually a lot. If you don't need to insure, it's actually a lot easier because you just go click, click, choose the map, and then you just go next, next, next until it lets you play.
Yeah.
So quite a few times I've been like, no, I don't need to insure. Actually, it's only 60k. Muscle memory in this game is mad. And then the last one, which was the stash lines missing from purchase, that was, I don't think they were actually missing technically, but if you had bought stash lines at any point or had them gifted to you through the special event where you got 2 extra lines, if you used them and moved stuff about, you would get a 228 error.
Oh no.
So lots of people were just like stuck in like 228 error hell. If you use the bottom of your stash for things, then it just wouldn't work. So there'd be like the whole bottom section of your stash is just like stuck. For
Oh
me,
my
I have it
god,
all
it's terrible.
containers from the bottom up. So for me, it didn't matter because all the items I was like, I don't know what people are talking about. Like, I've not had any of these problems.
Because they're like in their own little world. I
They're in the
guess.
container already.
Yeah.
It's inside the container, the stuff that I'm moving, right? But if you try to move a whole container,
Yeah, then you run a
then
problem.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I've got 30 lines. Because I have 28 from the purchase, the original purchase, and then 2 from the Terragrup Trail event. So I have 30. So everything outside of that bottom 30 was fine. And I usually move stuff around kind of. Actually, I've ended up in this weird situation where I move stuff around like halfway up. But that's more of a function of the top down sort than anything else.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like, so I have this like middle, so I've like containers at the bottom, stuff that I'm just like sorting on top, and then I've got this middle section, which actually ends up working out because it's just like, I'm halfway between the top and my. It's actually okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh god, there's just like so many random things that I've seen as well. We were the other day about spaghetti code and BSG's coding practice, how they do stuff. They still haven't fixed like systematic problems with their code base, and you can tell as a player because there's things like, and like the parents just reminded me saying like, oh, you don't get the 3rd prestige achievement at the moment, apparently. But that reminded me that apparently prestige 3 dog tags don't go in the dog tag case. Like,
oh my god, it's so classic BSG.
That's absolute classic. That's like the years of Punisher Part 2. Kill enemies with a suppressor. Oh, but this gun's new, so that doesn't count. And they haven't flagged it yet manually in the counts for Punisher Part 2.
Yeah.
It's like, just classify the items. Like, please, for the love of God, just classify.
But then we have to unravel
so
our entire spaghetti deep fried lasagna pancake.
Well, exactly. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's just like, yeah, it's just classic. So this patch is like thoroughly borked in many, many ways. And people couldn't get into matches on Arena, and like, the other stuff, it's just like not doesn't seem to be working properly. And it's just, how? Like, how have you done this?
I think that's why. I think this is very telling because I remember there being a lot of like resistance, I should say, with Nikita wanting to like implement this type of stuff as far as like the Arena and PvE crossover. And now this is like Nikita's, it's like, oh, this is what you guys want. It's like, no, just fix your shit, just like this is not what we asked for. This is the exact opposite.
I know, it's so funny because we thought we were kind of out of the woods with this, right? It's just like, oh, we've maybe had last wipe and this wipe where the PvE, sorry, the Arena and PvP are synchronized well. We don't have like desynchronization or missing stats. Like, it's actually working well. And now we've gone and thrown in the PvE spanner and everything's broken again. And it's like, oh my god, I've got elite strength and I didn't even mean to.
Yeah.
We've got the other people who didn't get on at the time are calling for blood because you bug abuser. And it's like, the whole community is like tearing itself apart. It's like, it's so crazy. It's genuinely so crazy. Okay, what's next? So, tech update. What was this one? Is this for the one where they were like...
It's probably...
oh, yeah.
to fix some of the things.
We fixed 228. Cool.
Yeah, that's
with the
good.
stash lines purchase. And mine came up just saying 30 stash lines has been added to your account or something. And I was like, huh? And I went into my account and it's just like, still 30 stash lines. But like it was something like it wasn't activated. So the game thought that you couldn't use those lines, even though they were like, you could see them, right? The game was just like, that's not a valid like inventory space or something. That was kind of the issue. So they kind of gave everybody those back. Fix the cause of error when searching for game. Fix the cause of incorrect calculation of skill points and weapon mastery from EFT Arena to PvE Zone. This was like 11 p.m. on the 20th, and I think that was still when it didn't actually work. And then fix the cause of black screen after the end of the raid. So some people were like dying on scav, and then it was just like
just
the sound, and there's the black screen, just the audio. You could still hear the raid like going on. You're just, it's like, I'm sorry, this is super hardcore. You have to buy another. Did you get another life from your life? I know, you have to buy another game copy. That's it. You're dead now. I'm sorry. Anyway, so they fixed that. And then they put out this notice. Honestly, it's been a right couple of days. We appreciate your feedback and reports of issues you encountered on the first day after the release of updates in Escape from Tarkov. A series of technical updates will be released shortly to address the sound problems, the issues where players could fire their underbarrel grenade launchers indefinitely in PvE, a fix for the issues where some players were missing dialogue with the BTR driver, fix for issues where the number of players were unable to enter PvE at all, fix for an issue where players did not... Oh, yeah, I actually did have a few comments I don't really know, where players did not receive 3 days of access to EFT Arena after completing Balancing Part 1 task in PvE. So people do Balancing Part 1 and then not get the free trial because they were going to try and get Theta in my recommended way. But they were like, dude, I did Balancing Part 1 and I didn't get the free trial that gives. So anyway, they fixed that. In Tarkov Arena, skill mastery points not being correctly transferred from EFT Arena to EFT. Some users experiencing issues with accepting matches. Sound positioning and occlusion and problems. When reloading a weapon quickly, the player cannot fire for several seconds.
Oh, that sounds
So this
awful.
was them being like, this is them being like, these are the problems that we see. And then they brought through the tech update to fix them a bit later. Fixed an issue with sound occlusion not working. Bots being able to shoot through solid obstacles with stationary weapons 0. Fixed an issue with the cultist circle, prevented some players from accessing PvE. Fixed an issue with the ability to fire underbarrel grenade launchers infinitely in PvE. Incorrect skill points in the and fixed an issue where players would not receive the Balancing Part 1. So they actually did all those things.
Okay.
Finally, and fixed it. So I think now we're kind of back up to date, and I think it's now like working in general. I don't know about the sound. I've not actually played other than just running Scav because there's this event on, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I don't know, but I think the rest of it's fixed. The arena skill thing is at least fixed. Obviously, there's nothing to prevent people from just keeping the skills that they've got, but like at least it is now fixed. The matching stuff and the bug stuff in the inventory seems to be okay. So I think we're sort of back. It's so over. We're kind of back.
That's funny. Speaking of kind of back, transition. I saw amongst all the chaos because I was telling Giga before the cast that I saw like some bits like you and other people. I didn't know the context of like what you were discussing. Like I think Valiant was like we should just give everyone max skills. I'm like what's going on in Tarkov? But anyways, I did see that we got an announcement from BSG and Nikita himself. 1.0. We have a technically. We have a date and we have a trailer of sorts. Now it's not, it's the classic cinematic live action stuff from BSG. No in-game cutscenes, but nonetheless, we have an actual concrete date now, which is I think it's November. When is it again?
November the 15th. So it's
November 15th.
In the video, in the code. It's basically Nikita sat at his computer like writing code. And there's some screenshots of like some stuff that's going on with the event right now, but then one of them it says like 15th of November, and then there's a guy who falls over dead with the watch, and the watch has got 15th of November on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's kind of the deal. That's sort of the screenshotable like, hey, it's 15th of November, it's on the guy's watch kind of deal, which is kind of cool. And he retweeted it and just said like, yeah, superb combat scenes. Yeah. Looks fun. But and then 17 hours ago he did a pinned tweet on his page. 15th of November 2025, 1.0 release, let's go. So like it's certain. Like this isn't some a teaser to a thing. It's not an Arc Raiders situation. Like the tease of the release date. The tease when we're going to release the release date. This is actually supposedly the release. So whether it gets delayed at this point, I don't know. I'm assuming they're fairly confident about the release date. I mean, it's perfectly plausible that they miss it, but yeah.
Sure.
November's kind of cool. It means that we get to play before Christmas. We don't need to all be, trying to balance Christmas and family. It's kind of a good time. 15th and of. And that also means that it is in 3 months, just under. So 2 months and about 3 weeks. So we've got plenty of time to prepare. Nice for creators, get the hype going, figure out what's coming, and then play 1.0, which is with no testing whatsoever, is going to be absolutely perfect. As I've said many times over many months, there's going to be no community testing of it whatsoever, and it's going to work flawlessly on day one because BSG have got an amazing track record of putting out patches that have no bugs, as we've just been discussing over the past hour and 5 minutes. I'm genuinely concerned, but I've talked about that before, so I won't go on too much about that. So yeah, we have the release date. Gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the storyline is and stuff. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Can't wait to see what's to come.
Yeah, I'm actually like kind of more excited for the lore than like anything. Like we've seen all the gameplay, really. Like there's gonna be new bits, and you get to go to terminal, and you probably have to killed 3 players with cultist knives under a blue moon with Jaeger and prestige 5 times in order to actually escape from Tarkov. Like I'm accept like every time they bring out something like, oh, we're going to bring out prestige, and it's just like, oh, that requires Kappa. It's like, I thought Kappa was supposed to just be like an end game thing for like board, like end game guys to complete. Like, oh, I know it's supposed to be hard and whatever, but like I'm very much now accepting of the fact that like I may never escape Tarkov if it's on that level. Like I just can't be bothered. So I will just play the game, experience it for what it is, get to the point at which it becomes a stupid grind, and then I won't do it. So like I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I won't be sad about it. I was more sad about Prestige. Because I was like, oh, I can kind of they've done that with Prestige, but like, oh, yeah, it's fine, whatever. But I'm ready to just like never actually finish it. But that this I don't care.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you there.
Yeah, we'll get the experience and see what comes. Speaking of 1.0 and fun stuff happening, we do have an event. Well, basically, always call it event. The player base is like is a real stickler for like what's an event and what's a quest line. Like I titled my thing, I'm just like, yeah, you're doing the event quest. Oh, what's the event? And I'm like, oh, it's the friend from Norvinsk. They're like, oh, the new quest line. You mean like the new quest line? No, I saw that already. I was coming here expecting a new event. I'm afraid. And I'm just like, guys, like, come on, just fucking stop being so pedantic. Like, it's event quest line. Like, it's all the same thing to PSG. They were calling it event in the the roadmap, whatever. It's like it's all the same thing. So this new one is called Friend from Novinsk, which is quite funny. But like Friend from the West, which is the old Peacekeeper task line. So you got Friend from Novinsk. You have to do like a bunch of different things. It's not necessarily that hard per se. For at least I'm about halfway. I haven't got. Some people have got all the way to what we think is the like a time gated point of a resting point for the next wave. We think that's kind of what seems to be. You don't seem to be able to get to the end. Is the sort of general consensus right now. But you start off, you have to go and basically just scout some locations on reserve, and then you have to go to Shoreline Resort and go and pick up an item. All this stuff is on the wiki now, so you can just go through on the wiki because there's specific places that these things spawn. There's like in the resort, it's in East Wing. There's like the connector building or the connector room, open room next to like the admin tunnel. So over there, it's like a folder in there. So you go and grab that. Then you go and kill 15 scavs and like grab a diary out of the church in the sunken village in woods. Then the next one, which is the one that I've actually just been stuck on, like kind of annoying. Do I still need one more? I was like just running scav runs passively while I was like doing other stuff this morning just to try and get this one, because you have to do, it's like the classic. It's just like 2 PC CPUs, 4 sticks of RAM, and 3 PCBs. Not hard, but I used all my RAM sticks to get hybrid 46s so that then I could run the MCX, so then I could make a video about it. So I don't have any sticks of RAM found anymore. So now I have to go and find 4 sticks of RAM. It's not that hard. I found 3 of them already, but it's annoying, you know? It's just like, oh, I just have to search like a load of computers. Fine. After that, I think you'd have to do, what you have to do there?
Figure out the cipher.
Yeah, so I think with the diary, so it's like figure out the cipher. Now, this is obviously the same for everybody. So you have to put like some items in the cult circle. I think that's the vibe of this thing. And then when you do that, you get a disc out of the cultist circle, which you then have to. So you get the disc. You then have to like do a gunsmith type task weirdly, and then it basically says like make sure that is this thing called game review. It says make sure you've got everything you need to run the game. Get a proper rest space. You need to get the rest space to level 3, and then a slot appears in the rest space, like an item slot.
Oh, cool.
You know, a bit like in the water filter station. So you put the disc in the rest space, and then you get to play a game in the hideout, and it's sort of a text adventure like RPG type game called Targrade Tales, and you have to go through this game. And I think you get to a certain point, and then you need a password, but you don't have the password. So then you have to go and collect these military encoded military flash drives that are spawning like everywhere, and you can actually buy them on the flea as well. You know, it's whatever. And there's a new craft in the intel center. You have to then go and decrypt these things so you can get the passwords, and you go back to the game to do, carry on. After that, I'm a bit like unsure as to what exactly happens, because it's like I think people have only unlocked this like yesterday, so I'm not 100% sure exactly what you have to do. I think you have to go and like find another disc or something, and then play like the rest of the game, something like this. Yeah, there's just like after that, there's like I think it releases the URL of like the release video or something. I think maybe the first person who did it opened up the release video that then got put on Twitter, something along those lines. Yeah, and people in chat basically saying like I completed the event, basically private, definitely event rather than a quest line, with the purpose being the date reveal. Thank you, Sir Robin. But yeah, I think you get an achievement if you do it, and it's just like, something to do at the moment. So I'll probably carry on. I want to play Targrade Tales in the Hideout.
So you can still do this event.
Right next to me. You can still do it. I'm on part 4 of Friend from Novinsk, just because I haven't played that much, and I went towards and got shot in the head the first time someone was doing shooterborn or whatever it was. Just kind of annoying. So anyway, we're dealing with that at the moment. I don't know if there's going to be some extra stuff. There may well be after this, but for now it seems to be like the release thing, and I don't know if there's like something else that's coming afterwards, because this whole thing might. I mean, it seems quite a small event, I would say, for how much they kind of bigged it up with like cult symbols and stuff on the roadmap. So I'd be surprised if this is like the end. Maybe it's just like the first stage of like road to release.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's a long quest line for an event, but it's not like some of the other ones that are more like gameplay centric, or or like major changes to gameplay, I guess. But it is kind of like a cool. I mean, it was like really cool to like go through this without knowing, about the 1.0 stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if you're like speed running it through, because it kind of caught me at like an awkward time, so I wasn't streaming at the right time to be able to just like blast through a ton of it in one go. But yeah, it's I'll carry on with it, and we'll see. But yeah, apparently there's lots of stuff in the game. There's like lots of different ways that you can progress the little mini game, and lots of different like ways you can go in it. So like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to play it to see. But I'm sure there's probably gonna be more, because we're in like build up mode, aren't we? Into 0.0, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So
there's been a few things from Nikita as well. Do you want to go through a few of those?
Yeah.
Before we move on to other topics.
Yeah. Catching up on keeping up with the Nikitas, instead of whatever it is in pop culture. I think it's like keeping up with the Koreans, I think. Anyways. Papers on the floor. What does it mean? Give me your best nice guy impersonation now. Go. That was nice, amazing. Absolute sin.
I was just like, I thought you was going to say like Nikita, the nice guy. What does nice guy even say? I'm not very good impersonating. I just love the first comment on this. Found all the missing patch notes, guys, from Sheep.
Oh my god. Oh, that was a low blow.
I was like, that's classic. That's real good. Yeah. But yeah, there's like this. You can't really read any of this stuff. And maybe it's like storyline. I think Axel said 1.0 release storyline, quest, dialogue, RPG type options, is what he said.
Oh yeah, because it's all in Russian. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's quite hard to like. The translators were kind of having issues, I think, like passing it. But he was like, I had a look at it. So yeah, it sounds like that. And I think there's a Terra Group like briefcase from the Raid series, the one that they're trying to transport or something, is like in the picture.
Yeah, I see that. Almost like a secure container of sorts, but not really.
Yeah, I think it had the phone in it. I think the one with all the ultimate tease, which is the British USEC in the Raid video, and then they like murder all those scientists, And we are yet to have a British USEC voice in the game. It was in the Raid series. It's canon, guys. Like, you got to put it in the game. British USEC. I will pay for the British USEC voice. I will. I swear to you, I will.
Will you do the acting?
Oi, get over here! Yeah, that'll be. Got a bottle of water for you. Get over here.
I would honestly, that would make me go USEC. Like that would make me go USEC. Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I would switch.
It'd be amazing. So yeah, but yes, then we also had some interesting voice line stuff as well in the next one, right? Look at that, the big man himself
in a sound booth, recording some voice lines. Oh, he says I was recording a new bear voice. Did we hear
exactly.
about
So
this before? Or no? Am I
I
crazy?
don't think so.
Okay. Whatever.
I don't remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
But that's quite cool. I don't know. Like, can you play as Nikita? Nikita's voice? Like, is he just a bear soldier? Is he like the big boss bear guy
Oh
or
my
something?
gosh. Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
he could be a boss. The final boss,
Yeah.
Nikita himself in the game.
Or he's or he could be like the voice of the storyline. You know, because maybe
Oh
Bear like maybe
yeah,
Yusek versus Bear has a different story.
yeah.
It could
Yeah.
well do. And they converge somewhere at some point later. You know, because Bear is a bit more. They probably have a bit more connection, right? Like Yusek, they do like genuinely get stranded. I think. I bet Bear's sort of similar, but I mean Bear's sort of closer to maybe help. I don't really know. Maybe he's big bear boss guy.
Maybe.
Maybe. So yeah, voice lines from Nikita. And then what do we have? What was this one?
Just for all the gun lovers, we got something that resembles a gun.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen this. Maybe I have. I'm just not aware.
If
It
you
looks like an
scroll
S12.
down, there's very bad scav screenshotted Nikita retweeting a H&K post.
Oh, is this the
about
G11? Is that what it's
I can't
called?
remember what its name. Yeah, the G11. Yeah, and this is
Yeah,
the
this
this
is in
is
one
the
of the Call of
caseless.
Duties.
I think it's the caseless ammo thing.
Yeah, it's something special. It's like very, very unique. Probably like a prototype. I'm sure there's like some significant history. I just remember being in like Call of Duty Black Ops, like the OG one, and it was like a
Right.
weird burst fire. It looks like something out of like a sci-fi movie.
Exactly, which is why Nikita's just like, oh yeah. I think someone at some point, I was probably Axel again, just saying like Nikita will do anything to not add the AN-94.
Oh my god, that's yeah. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Yeah, that is
It's
a
like, no, it's
crime.
too niche and too specific. G11.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. You know what? To be fair, he's probably like seen the AN-94. Like, it's not really special to him. You know, like it's special in general, but like
yeah.
then it's like But then he sees like the German experimental weapon from like the 70s or whatever. He's like, oh, I gotta have this in my game.
Yeah. With the caseless ammo, and he's just like, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, exactly. So what was that next? Then what was the other one? The 15th. What was this one? Can't remember now. We're like in uncharted territory. Oh, this was the video. Yeah, this was the
one of the reels from Nikita.
Dev clips reel. Was there anything interesting in this one?
There's like some
him
chess
recording
pieces.
Voice lines. Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is. It's like it almost looks like a sort of I don't know, different like a different game of some kind, like some sort of like turn-based game. Nikita recording actual voice lines. Oh, this like the ship level is there as well later in the thing. The knife sort of animation is quite cool.
Yeah, there's like a CS:GO knife flicking animation, so all the Zoomers can finally now participate in Tarkov. They pull out their butterfly Tarkov knife, cultist edition, legendary exclusive, or just like flicking all over the place.
Hardened. They just want to get in on the crazy, skin trading.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
Turn the flea market off. And turn it back on for real money for skins trading.
The temptation's there. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, there's the big ship level, which looks like it's kind of like nearly done.
Oh yeah! Wow, I missed this when I was having a go at the knife stuff. That looks really big. I mean, that's like are those? Yeah, those are each floors. That's like 6 floors at least. I mean, you got the deck, which is its own floor, and then you got, I guess, like the top area of all the scaffolding and stuff. So I mean, there's like 7 to 8 layers maybe here. Plus whatever, if you can go down in under the ship, like whatever's in there, like holy.
Maybe it's just kind of like speed run lower FPS than Streets any %.
No, you know what's gonna be? All the doors are gonna look the exact same, but there's gonna be one door that when you walk up to it, it's like open out of like the 100 on here. It's streets
And it's
all over
different every
again.
time.
Yeah. Oh god, that's even worse. The most legendary questline ever, Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, escape the ship. You got like 5 minutes, just every door is the same. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool though. That
Yeah.
could be
Was there
really
anything else
fun.
on that one? What else was there? Oh, there's like some chemical stuff from Terror Group and yeah, some more like level stuff. It's kind of neat. And was there one more? Or was that the date one? Oh, I think that was just the one
Yeah.
for the date, right?
Yep.
The final one. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I think that's all the time. 1.0 is coming, and we'll see it at some point, and things are progressing, and the game's turbo screwed, and it is what it is. The hardcore wipe's over, but it's still hardcore. But now it's goofy because everyone's got max skills. It's it sure is a wild time. I mean, this is just business as
Classic
usual
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Tarkov land. Like, it's not even scandalous. This is it'd be scandalous if
Yeah.
everything worked perfectly.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just love the Tarkov like shared trauma that we all have experienced at one point of our Tarkov lives. Like it's just such a collective thing people can relate to.
So the game's like reflected in the devs, like just it like there was actually an interview that I was like reading through, and
Oh, okay.
I haven't actually done anything on this yet. Let me see if there was anything. Oh yeah, there was actually some interesting stuff. Let me find. Oh, it's in a different browser. Hold on, one sec. I think it's over here. Yeah, I was like highlighting some interesting things out of it. There's not much in there actually. Like we know most of everything that's in there, but it was quite funny. There was like some sections which it was like for a Russian magazine, and they asked some things which it's more interesting about like Nikita's state of mind, really, than
Mm-hmm.
anything else. There was one they said like you actively communicate with the community on streams. Is it a necessity for you, a promotion tool, or a genuine pleasure? And he said, in fact, all of the above, to which you can sometimes add a sincere displeasure.
Oh my god. That's great.
Um, he
He's so
says,
real for that.
sometimes I perceive all of this as work. Sometimes, as it goes, there's a vibe. Sometimes you catch a wave from people and start to get a high from it. But mostly, I feel my goal and role is to convey information or take on the emotional players and to take a hit.
Yeah.
It's like over the years working on EFT, you've become a figure associated project and the studio.
Yeah.
How do you cope with this level of publicity? It's just like, well, I basically answer this question. It's my job and I'm used to it. Sometimes I like it, more often I don't. But I understand the highly emotional game, which is long lived even beyond the framework. There's it's good when there's a person who embodies the game. There was another one. What is this one?
Those are some good questions from the interviewer.
Yeah. Is it safe to say with the balance changes this wipe, you're testing the balance aggression changes that we introduced in the release version of the game? Partly yes, but it won't be that difficult. This means that there will be some changes, but definitely not like that. We understand this experiment is not for everyone. Okay, right, fair enough. What was this one here? There was one that was extra funny. So there's a few other ones that are just interesting. The release of Escape from Tarkov is not only the end of development, it's an important event for the community. Do you plan to use major international platforms such as Game Awards to release this version? In our case, the release is not the end of development plans. Earlier on, he said, yes, story quests take up the lion's share of the release version of the game. A lot has been conceived and done in this direction. We now have to optimize and somehow fit everything in. And after release, we will not stop supporting Tarkov optimization. Will continue. Quality of life improvements will continue, and new content will appear. This was the one in particular that I've really highlighted. What feelings do you have as you wait for more of a celebration, breath of fresh air, or is it preparation for the next stage of the studio's history? I have never waited for anything with joy, and I have long forgotten how to be happy, especially in game dev.
Oh my god, that is so deep. Like, wow.
Like he was just like after that, he basically says like, rather there is a sense of importance at the moment and increased responsibility. In any case, we will not make everyone absolutely happy, but we will try hard. Now the work at the studio is going at a rapid pace. Everyone understands that we must do it beautifully and well. It's just like interesting. He's like, it's interesting. It's just like some people have said, sounds like your average Russian. It's like that kind of like he sort of just embraces the misery of the job,
Yeah.
but with like responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like an interesting
It's
sort of
kind
like
of it's kind of got a noble aspect to it, right? Like he feels, I mean, which like you hear about those games. Like what was that? A day after tomorrow, or a day to remember, or a day's
Oh, the
gone.
day before
A
that
day
one.
before, yeah. And like, I mean, that game was like, it was not a game. Okay, like that game was a straight up scam, more or less. I mean, and then the studio, like it was a mess, right? So like you hear these stories, like Steam used to have a really big issue of like people like selling quote unquote games, but it was all like promo and you know Unreal video editor. But then you get the actual game, it's like actual garbage, and it was a big problem. But
Mm.
so yeah, I mean, it's been a long time, and yeah, he definitely wants to deliver on his promise, and it's like clearly there's passion behind it. But yeah, you do feel for the guy. It's like he really has taken on, especially in the last like half of their development and legacy. It's like he kind of has embodied that role of like I'm the punching bag. That's my, it's one of my roles, one of my many hats, and it's
Yeah.
his cross to bear for all of our gamers and all of our sins of our fellow gamers.
Yeah, it's funny, really. Like
Yeah,
it's just interesting. What was the one about? There's one about life. I'm remembering. I didn't highlight it, I don't think. Yeah, he said over the recent years of development, Tarkov has become not just a game for many players, but a real way of life. What does it become for you and the team? He said it is not just a way of life; it is life. It is
yeah,
as it is for many of the studio's employees.
yeah. I can see
Like it's
that.
so like the whole thing, the whole process is just so real.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I was gonna say, it is um to be self-sacrificing for the noble cause when you're making money hand over fist, right? It is obviously
yeah.
there is
It's
obviously the financial
yeah.
sense.
You're
Like
right.
he never has to do anything again if he doesn't want to.
Yeah,
But it is funny, there's like the money doesn't make up for like he has to actually live it, right? You still have to do it. Even
yeah,
people who are making like a lot of money, you still have to like live your day-to-day experience, and that can still be miserable, which I
yeah,
think is definitely the case for him sometimes.
yeah, yeah. He's still, at the end of the day, he's still a person.
Yeah, and you still got to like go into the office, make tough decisions, whatever. There was
Yeah,
one about decisions that I did find interesting as well. Maybe there's more interesting in this than I thought. Uh, where was it? Yeah, it was funny actually. So he said like it's something we never really think about. He said what internal changes and organizational approaches allow BSG to maintain momentum and bring the project to the finish line? And he said hard management decisions and only them. A lot had to be cut, including in the development process. Something had to be removed. There were many tears and discontent when we cancelled something or moved it in the release plan. And unfortunately, or fortunately, this is the only way it would work. Otherwise, development would continue forever. It's like I wonder how much of that is like in the team. If you're like building something and it's just like we can't use this. You know, you'd probably be quite annoyed, right? If you're like working on something for a couple of months or
yeah.
whatever, as like
I
an
mean,
employee even. Quite interesting.
just as a short excerpt, I looked. Did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars,
I played
the
a little bit of the
RPG?
really old one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I somehow fell down that rabbit hole again and then into the modding
Hmm.
scene and just looking at basically all the cut content that's been tried to restore, and like you can just see like it's all, and it just seems like such a theme in games in general, at least of the games of the past, that we can like reflect and see this stuff. But because what, the other week ago I was talking about like Halo and all the stuff there, and the developer Bungie's like big dreams and things that they came up with. They're like, we have to cut it, but we'll save it for a sequel, maybe.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm sure that's like just a very real thing. People work on stuff super passionate about, and then cuts have to be made, and sucks, I imagine.
Yep.
The like you have this, it's crazy because like Nikita's got a vision in his mind, and he probably also knows that it's not going to ever be how he wants it to be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hopefully he's accepted that at some point. But yeah, I imagine he has.
Yeah. We will see ultimately what the vision is when 1.0 comes through in 3 months' time, won't we? We will
Yeah,
see. We will
can't
see.
wait.
God, I just want to see what the story is. I want to know what happens to terror
I'm
people. I
with
want to
you
know, like
there.
we played the game for so long. Like, what is blue
Yeah,
ice? Like, I've spent hours poring over like the whiteboards in the hideout, and like I haven't done that for years. but like because nothing's changed, and the Rigi series is sort of incoherent from like a lore perspective, and it's there's nothing else really to read into, right? But it's just like there's all these clues around the maps and storytelling, and it's nothing. So we just haven't thought about it for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to find out what happens. Anyway, I forgot about that. I thought that was worth mentioning at least because it's
Yeah, no,
it's
that
just
was cool.
interesting hearing him be like, "I have long forgotten how to be happy."
I do not know happiness, only misery and pain.
Exactly. He just embodies Tarkov. He's just surviving day to day. Even the pieces of code have to be found in RAID before they go in the
Oh my
database.
god.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so wow, you've been maxing, skill maxing in Bug Tarkov land. Deadlock, the Valve's closed beta-ish, invite-only third-person shooter, got a major update. Now, there's been lots of leaks. There's there's so much leakage that I just don't even sometimes I just don't even bother. And I feel like it's all mostly true, but it's just eh, it's there'd be clips of streamers talking about what's possibly alleged. It'll be in theory, what if I told you there was a hero that could teleport you to another dimension and trap you there? In theory, of course. It's okay, I know what you're saying here, but Anyways, um, Deadlock came out with an update that released six six new heroes are being added to the game, and there was a lot of hype up to this patch because people are getting that sort of patch angst, all these leaks happening, and we thought there was going to be a bunch of new heroes, but we thought it was going to be a open beta announcement, just because of some speculation and whatnot, and turned out not to be that, which is totally fine. But we got some really cool stuff. So they released a new hero. They released something called the Hideout, which I know Tarkov Brain. It's can you crash that? No. Okay, so it's basically what they did. Instead of taking a traditional menu, you spawn in to a mansion, a manor, and it's this little. Now you interact with the world to use the menu. It's you go to this oracle in the center to queue up, and they got a projector because the theme, if for those of you not familiar, is set in I think it's 1940s, but it's a historic fantasy game essentially, where it's an alternate timeline, and the occult and magic's kind of heavily involved, mostly occult stuff. So you got Industrial Revolution kind of happening, but now you got all this occultic stuff mixed into it, and you got speakeasies and Prohibition era. It's kind of I've come to really appreciate that side of things.
Yeah.
More recently, but what they're doing is instead of releasing all the heroes at once, it's every 2 days they're releasing a new hero based off community votes. So you go in, you play a game, and whether you win or lose, you earn a ticket to vote for the next character to.
Oh, that's quite a good way of doing it.
It is, and I mean, I was kind of upset because when the patch first dropped, they already had one character available, which was Mina, this high society spoiled brat vampire girl, essentially, who's oh man, they do such a good job with their designs and characters and background and stuff, because her character and persona, it's just she is a spoiled brat. It's so cool, and the interactions, oh my god, between the characters are so good. But yeah, so obviously everyone wants to play the new hero, but you have to to queue up, you got to select 3 heroes, and then you can change your priority. But if you have a new hero selected, you basically gotta have 3 not new heroes selected at a minimum to play. So
yeah,
everyone's trying to get the new hero. I played 12 games, didn't get the new hero, and I'm just oh my god. And then I realized I didn't have the new hero, Mina, as high priority. I was oh well, no wonder. And then eventually, I did get the the character. But by that time, now the new character is coming around, so now I want to try the new character, and it's just like part of me wishes they released them all at once. That way, it's like
Yeah,
the odds of you getting to play a new character would be higher than normal. But
I
I'm
see.
sure there's like some. I mean, this is a cool way because people get to vote and you get to see and interact and stuff. But and maybe there's like some marketing strategy behind it. I don't know, but either way,
Also incentivizes people to play as well. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
play the game and you get to vote every time you play a game, kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
And the more you play, the more say you have. You
Yeah.
buy your
So
votes with your time.
say again. 5 votes every time.
You buy your votes with your time, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which is nice too. They didn't do it like based off winning or losing, because that's
Yes.
that would suck.
Only if you win.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck.
You're too much of a scrub, so you don't get to pick. Only winners get to choose the next one.
Yeah, but so that was like pretty much the bulk of it. I mean, there's been tons of leaks and stuff, and I've like come to grown to. I mean, I guess the other thing with the update was they updated the map a lot. Actually, I should pull up this other channel. This is it Dead Air? Yeah, I think it's called Dead Air, and this is probably like the more high end production um YouTube channel out there. And the map changes were just like really, so kind of how in like Dire, or sorry, in Dota you got like Dire and not Sapphire, Radiant.
Yeah.
And the two halves of the map are like distinguished. It's a relatively symmetrical map, but the sides are distinguished. Well, we didn't really have that in Deadlock. I mean, there was like a little bit of that, but you just had like Amber and Sapphire was like the two different factions, and it was set in like New York, 1940s, old timey New York, and there was minor differences. Now they went through and like one side's like the industrial district, and the other side's like the, I don't know, consumer slash, I don't know, what's another district type?
I guess residential. Would you
Residential.
say?
Yeah, it's kind of got a residential vibe to it. I don't know what you would call
Yeah.
it, but so like very distinct. And I mean, the art pass just looks like incredible. So like it feels like the game is really moving forward, like out of a more beta-y state, because like I mean, some of the ability icons of the past were like stick figure drawings, like actual stick figure,
Yeah.
and like they've pretty much gotten rid of that now. So it feels like it's still like a black and gray um palette for like the abilities. I don't know if that they're gonna stick with that. But anyways, it feels like the game's really moving forward to like a more, I don't know, like a more consumer friendly state. Because obviously they want this to be their next, large product, I would assume. Sort of like that
Yeah.
forever game, kind of like how Dota 2 is, and then they got all these systems built on top of it and ways to keep players engaged, like battle passes and blah blah blah. They can totally integrate, and they got some really cool stuff with this hideout potentially, because you could I could see you like wanting, if you wanted to like learn more about the characters as far as like their lore and stuff, I could see you having some cool interactions there. But yeah, just like some of the characters like are so interesting to me. Like, so like one of them, there's one called Viper, and she's just like, I didn't really know much about the lore in general, but like specifically Viper, she's kind of like just like this snake lady, and like her general vibe is like she's just kind of like a, I don't know, like a badass. Like she gets into trouble, she's like a criminal. Um, so here she's having an interaction with Bookworm, which is one of the upcoming heroes to be released, and Bookworm is like, I think her name's Paige actually. She's like a librarian nerd. She's got like this real New York accent, and she's all like shy and cutesy. And so Viper's like, "Did I see you at the strip club last night?" It's like, "Aren't you Cinnamon?" And uh, Paige is like, what are you talking? No, it's like I'm and Darvin's like, oh, and then the other day I learned too, Viper, like, she was talking with some other character, right? I don't know. But she was basically like, yeah, we'll have we'll have relations as long as I can call you Lash, which is a different character. And it's like, what? Like, I can't believe, like, that's
They're building some
insane.
kind of like backstory.
Yeah, it's like some insane stuff going on in the background. And I don't know, the lore is just like, it's made me appreciate, because obviously I heckin' love the mechanical side of this stuff. Like, this stuff gets my gamer brain. Like, I was doing something. I was like, oh, let me take care of some chores and whatnot. And I was like listening to someone play Deadlock, and they were playing a new hero, and I was like, oh my god, I need to log on right now and start theory crafting a build. You know, it's like I can't.
Mm.
It's like this thing just I go goblin mode. But I've really come to appreciate like how hard it is to make a game in all aspects, because the lore side of things and like characters, it like really makes a huge part of it, I feel. And it's just like the value there cannot be understated. And they do such a good job with some of the designs, like, because we got some model updates, and some of the stuff previously was like, where's this character's people? It's like, why is she, it's like, why does she look like a ghost? Like, is that part of it? But now it's like, the attention to detail. I just I can't overstate enough how much I've like seen the attention and detail. Like, there's one character, just to be the last thing, and then I'll let you speak. Is for one of the characters, Punk Goat, he's like, as I think his name's Billy. Yeah, as in like Billy the Goat. So he has like a goat's head. I think I got a picture somewhere. Yeah, here we go. He's got like a goat's head, right? And obviously, like, punk vibes are there present. He's got like a leather jacket with like pins on it. He's got a baseball bat with a spike, and so he's kind of this like melee-esque hero. He's got like a passive that applies a debuff, like a fire rate slow, and he can ram into someone, knock him up in the air. He's kind of like a, doesn't really have any disables necessarily, but it's more like a displacement type of character.
Yeah, brawly kind of deal.
Yeah, and when he reloads, because he's got a goat's head, he eats his magazine, and then he like plucks one out with his, because he always keeps his baseball bat in the other hand, right? So then he like plucks one out of his shirt with his mouth, and then sticks it in there. It's just like,
That's funny.
yeah, and his like character is like, I mean, he's just like, screw you to everyone. He's like punk, but he kind of, to me, he comes off as a bit more like teenage angst kind of punk. Like, I'm just angry at the world and I don't know why. And yeah, I don't know. They just do such a good job with this stuff.
So I just remember, like, back in Dota 2 as well, even if you weren't necessarily going to read the lore, so to speak, like, it's nice to know that it's there anyway, and then you see bits of it in the gameplay. Because you think, like, a game that doesn't have any story, it's like, well, how much lore can there really be?
Yeah.
But like Dota 2 has like fully fleshed out characters, and like the characters like say different stuff if they're against each other in lane, or like, if you're laning together, there's certain combinations of pairs where they kind of infer like shared history and things like that, which is, even if you're not, up on all of it, like, it exists, it just kind of makes the game richer, right, to play.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I'm a part of this Discord that's kind of like more art and lore centric around the game, and I've been like picking up bits, because I've watched like a few lore videos, but I don't know, it's just really cool to see basically like a whole another side of a game or genre, because I don't think in Dota 2 I ever really got into the character lore outside of like, as you said, some of the interactions. But yeah, it's just cool to see them build the game. And apparently there was a leak. Someone took, I don't remember the exact context, but like, it was like a Valve, like a Steam post, and like you could look at the author for it, and it said Ice Frog, and it was a Steam post related to Deadlock or something.
Yeah.
And so people took it as like gospel, like, okay, Ice Frog is working on the game, and presumably this person named Yoshi, one of the lead devs, is Ice Frog, is what people are saying. But something I forgot about. Um, have you ever played Risk of Rain? Are you
No,
familiar
but
with
I've
that
heard of
game?
it.
Okay. Well, I didn't like. I forgot. I knew about this from some time ago, or forgot about it, and I was reminded from this post. Um, that Valve hired those devs to like work for them, which is
Oh,
interesting.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I don't know about the full team, but like at least I think 2 to 3 of the devs are because they made Risk of Rain and Risk of Rain 2, and even in Risk of Rain, I remember the first one there was like an Aghanim Scepter item, so I know they like. And it played kind of similar to, you had like 4 abilities. I mean, that was like a pixel game, but it was kind of like roguelike, MOBA
Hmm.
economy of stuff. So, anyways, I just thought that was super interesting, and like, yeah, it's just like pretty cool how it's all coming together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder how's the player numbers been? Is it gone up a bunch with them releasing the new stuff, or is it like the same, or just lower, or like how's
Mm,
that kind of been?
let's find out.
It's interesting. One of those things about these games, isn't it? It's just like they're in early access and they're like people are super hyped, and then people kind of move away from it. It's like the issues with slowly doing something over a certain period of time. It's like, well, do people just lose interest eventually? Do the big updates kind of bring people back in? I don't know.
I mean, it looks like there is something that I think I went from like average, I don't know, 10 to 15K. I guess 5 to Yeah, so probably like 12K average, and then now it's
Hmm.
more like 20. I don't know, 18K. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how to gauge
Yeah,
the
well,
the ebb and flow of it. But it's definitely gone up.
going up at least.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm seeing posts about it as well. I'm like seeing posts about Deadlock in general.
yeah.
Just like they're just floating up. They're just turning up on my Twitter. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like people are like interested in the game and stuff.
There's a lot of. I think one of the things too I just appreciate about being in a Valve ecosystem game is like they're not super. It's like they. I mean, I've said this before, but they seemingly intentionally, just leave leaks out in the open for people to
Hmm.
find. It's like they learned is like, okay, well, we can't stop people from like scraping, but at least we can be like, choose what they're going to scrape. I guess it's like be right.
And get
So
like free advertising. It's like, oh, leak, we found this in this game. Right? It's like more than if Valve just, hey, look at this thing. They just want to get more
exactly.
people to see it. Like, oh, we found this secret thing inside.
Yeah, so like people have already like there's a mod you can download if you want to like be able to play all the new characters. I don't think their abilities will work because they're missing that data. But like, I
Right.
mean, a lot of the stuff is already there. You know what I mean? Like the voice lines, people have already scraped all that, and you get all the lore, lore aficionados be like, oh, so that's what this means, and that. So I don't know. It's just it's a cool time, and yeah, it's a cool update. Excited for the next heroes. I just want my boy Victor, aka Frankenstein. I He just looks so cool to me. He looks like someone say he looks like Death from um not Baldur's Gate. Crap, what is that from? It's like 3 sequels. Anyways, I would have to look it up. I can't remember now, but
Yeah.
it just looks very cool and edgy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. Been
That's
good.
good.
That's what I've been up to.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess what else is there? I mean, so when like BF6, I guess, is going to be out whenever. So actually, I did see a list of someone talking earlier. I probably don't have it to hand, but basically saying, there's a lot of cool stuff coming, soon. We've
Yeah.
got
Arc
Outgraders is coming back
Raiders.
at some point. We've got BF6. We've got the release of EFT. It's like a lot. A lot is going to be happening
Yeah. I heard
in sort of the end of the year.
I didn't know this, but just on that note, I heard Airwing like really liked like he was expecting to enjoy Arc Raiders and he really liked it, and like that's like his thing he's looking forward to highly right now is Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just surprised how well the third person feels.
Yeah,
In that.
just the quality, the polish on that game. That game, man,
Yeah.
it's like when that thing comes out, that thing is going to be the most polished game in like gaming history because that beta was already like clean. It was already very clean.
Yeah, so we'll see what else they've done on it since.
Yeah,
Like,
at least
kind of crazy to think.
at least that's my expectation. Maybe that's not. We'll see.
Yeah, we will. We will indeed. We will indeed see. But yeah, there's lots of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah,
Lots of stuff to look forward to. It's going to be an
times.
interesting end to the year for sure.
All right, I think we'll
Okay.
conclude it there. We'll pick up next week, see what new stuff's happened in Tarkov, and look forward to 1.0.
Absolutely.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. See you all next week.
Bye bye.